Hello everybody, Sparkster1701 here. We're taking a look at a new Legacy Transformer. This is the Prime Universe version of Arcee. Now, of course, she takes some hints from the Generation 1 version of Arcee, primarily in the fact that it is, again, a female character. And as she was the major female character in the Prime series, sort of like how the original was in the third season of the Generation 1 cartoon. The toy itself does have a few pink highlights on her head, just kind of as an homage to the original, since Arcee was famously pink in the original. They changed her to blue for the Prime universe, primarily because Hasbro and the animators felt that it would look kind of silly for a human male character to be driving around on a pink motorcycle. Despite the fact that a fair amount of us would probably jump into a vintage pink Cadillac without any hesitation, they seem to think that men and pink motorcycles don't mix. Oh well, who am I to argue? At any rate, we also must be serious for a brief moment with Arcee. Due to the fact despite the fact she was voiced by a regular voice actress on the cartoon series, at one time during a script reading at BotCon 2001, I believe it was, Arcee would be voiced by veteran actress Markie Post. Famous, of course, for being on series like Night Court and The Fall Guy. That's Markie right here. So it's nice to have had a respected actress be a part of the Transformers universe. But of course, she was also a character in the Prime cartoon. She voiced Jack's mother. Sadly, of course, we lost Markie last year after a lengthy battle with cancer. So, rest in peace. At any rate, let's take a look here at Arcee. We'll start looking at her accessories, starting with the Energon blades. She has two of these. They are exactly the same. As you saw, they fit onto her arms, but they also have a few other gimmicks to go with it. Because when you take it out of the package, they are pressed together, like so. So when you have it pressed like that, you can have it double as an Energon shield. Or maybe by a stretch of the imagination, we can probably fit this into her hand, and maybe we can say that it's an Energon chakram, like the famous weapon that Xena used in her television series. It's been said on the Transformer Wiki that Arcee's Energon blades can be connected to Skids' axe. So, well, right here we have Skids, and he will be reviewed a little later in the month. He's going to be one of the last ones. I just don't know if he's going to be dead last or not. That's kind of, well, we can't obviously connect it to the back, since of the way these posts are, unless we put it up top, but then kind of looks rather silly that way. But what about on these side holes here? Yeah. Well, there you have it, folks. They do connect. They do connect to the sides to give you a different option for the axe. Even though, really, in that sense, it looks rather silly, if you ask me. Oh, well, we won't worry about it. But at least you can see that it is an option. Hopefully it's one that gets experimented with a little bit more in the Legacy line. Of course, it'd be nice if Hasbro would advertise it. The only advertising we have for the combining weapons is on the core class. So it would be nice for them to show it off on the larger toys. And of course, Arcee here has a couple of more loose pieces to go with it. The next one, of course, once we reach over here and pull it out, is her front wheel. Stay up. We've got the front wheel here. And the front wheel can be split apart like so. So that you can either keep it stowed in the back like you saw there that we had. Or of course we can fit it into her hand. Like that. And then she has a gun. Or so they say it's a gun. Or lastly, we can store it back here. You just fold down this section here. Want to make sure I put it in right, folks, so bear with me for a second. Yep, that's the way we do it. And you put it so that the one piece is protruding upward, and then fold that back up. And then you have her with it stored. Nice, interesting way to do it. Well, it is. I find it interesting. And then, of course, lastly, we have a piece that just came apart on me. Come on. Oy. Looks like I'm trying to take the whole toy apart here. But lastly, it's this. It's this section here. Apparently it is how it's supposed to come off. The front end of the motorbike. You'll find it like this when you find it inside the toy packaging. So you just basically fold the sides up and then you would attach it to her back. It just basically plugs in on a centerline post. And then of course we gotta put this back on. You know, we got this piece here, like the front console, that can pop off very easily too, so do bear that in mind when you are playing with her, that she will come apart on you if you are not careful. Now we'll take a brief look at her articulation before we start transforming her. Arcee can turn her head from side to side, and it is on a ball joint, so it will look up and down. Her arms can be raised out to the side about so far, and she can rotate her shoulder at the shoulder all the way. You will have to shift the arm a bit to clear the motorcycle kibble on her back. She can bend her arm at the elbow 90 degrees, and she does have a swivel at the bicep, so she has G.I. Joe style battle grip. She can, with a little effort, be twisted at her hips. And you can spread her legs into a full splits. She does not have much of a thigh cut, though, but there is a slight one present. You can raise her leg up at the hip, greater than 90 degrees. As you can see, you can get her legs all the way up to her shoulder. And you can bend her leg at the knee 90 degrees. So all in all, a great range of motion for Arcee. Okay, we're going to transform Arcee, and the first thing I want to point out to you is that I did put the wheel back in on her. The instructions do show that the wheel is needed back there, so Just easier to go ahead and put it back in that place. Now the first thing we do is we take her forearm armor, and you're going to just gently slide it down so that it covers her hands. Then we come around here to her backside, and we're going to pull out the front section of the motorcycle. So pull out, not remove. Of course, once you've got it out, you bring it all the way up. And there's a section of it here that will swivel, so swivel it around so that the front wheel is above her head. And now we're going to turn her around, and we're going to dislodge her a bit here at the hip so that her legs fold backwards. Like so. And then we're going to rotate her at the hips so that her legs are now facing the other way. So now with that done, bring her legs up a little bit more so we can come down here to her arms, and we are going to rotate them like so that they face upwards like that. And then fold them inward from the shoulder so that they come down here, and then you can connect her arms together to form the rear end of the motorcycle. So then now we're going to come up here to her feet. You fold the fronts of her feet downwards so that they cover up the heel. Come on, come on. Bit stiff on there. Then, of course, once you've got that done, we're going to separate part of her leg off from it. Just get the front leg covering so you can shift it upwards like so. And keep folding it around until her feet lock into her legs. You can see right here, there's a little post right about where my finger is, and then there's a hole right there. That's what you're aiming for. Line that up just exactly like that. Then, of course, once you've got that done, you will take the wheels and you're going to fold them outward like that. Then, of course, comes the fun part, because we're going to spread her legs out. And rotate things so that way her hip winds up near the front. Pop the front end of the bike off again. Believe it or not, that comes off very, very easily. And I want this to fold backward. Keep her hip up where you can see it. They're going to have us shift their legs so they go a bit forward. Rotate the upper leg so that it fits right in here, right next to all of her body shields. And that way you bend the legs so they fold under and go towards the back. And once you got them all underneath like that, then you just line up the posts and the holes on the wheel to connect them together. It's done in a triangle, folks, so keep an eye out for that. Then, of course, once you've done that, you can take the side panels. There's a little slot, there's a little tab protruding from the bottom of them, and they should line up with a hole here on the sides of her legs. So just line them up and press them in to hold the toy together. Just exactly like that. And of course, for displaying purposes, she does have a kickstand that you can bring down and let her stand. And there you have it, folks. Arcee is in her motorcycle mode. It's said to be based off of a Kawasaki model. Of course, I'm not really all that familiar with motorcycles, so I'll take their word for it. But all in all, it is a nice looking vehicle mode. And of course, you do have a couple of options for her energon shields. You can attach them here on these holes next to her back wheel. Give her a nice option there for side-swiping other vehicles. Or if you just want to store them, they can be stored up here on her arms and be kind of kept out of the way. Of course, when I did that, I popped that panel loose. There we go. Either way, looks pretty good. The other thing is I'm going to keep her in storage more. I'm probably going to keep them up top so that they don't get busted as easily. But now we get to my thoughts. What do I think of this version of Arcee? Well, I really didn't know this version. I had seen brief bits of the Prime Universe cartoon, so I was aware that Arcee was a character in it. I did enjoy some of how they rewrote the character a bit. As still has her as being loyal to Optimus Prime, even if she does not agree with his decisions, such as giving her a partner, as she seems to prefer to work alone, since 2 of her previous partners had been killed. But it does carry on a long-standing tradition with the Transformers line in the fact that it does give us a strong female character. I know that a lot of the fandom does say that the original Arcee is a bit overrated, and in some ways they may be right, but in this day and age we also need our young girls to have strong female role models to look up to. And Arcee does carry on that tradition for the Transformer line of being a strong and capable female warrior. The toy here for this one, it's pretty good. I don't like the fact that some of the things pop off very easily on her when you're trying to transform her, but in ways that's a small gripe. She has a pretty decent robot mode, and you got a lot of different options with how you want to accessorize her with it. And the motorcycle mode, it's pretty good. Once you get over the slight confusion that the instructions bring about, it's actually a pretty fun vehicle to have. And one that definitely stands out among the crowd. At any rate, that's my review of the Legacy version of Prime Universe Arcee. I hope everybody enjoyed it. Remember, if you do like the content that we feature here on this channel, don't forget to like, share, comment, and subscribe. We do appreciate the feedback here. This is Sparkster1701 saying I will catch you all later.